Hello guys, in this video we are going to learn about parameters and arguments. So let's start by defining a function. We use the keyword function. We put a space, we name our function. Let's name it sum. And this is basically our function definition. We have valid name, we have parentheses, we have curly braces. Okay, everything looks fine. Now remember that when we want to execute the command inside the function, we use the name of the function, and then we put parentheses, and in this way we basically call for our function. We can also call our function multiple times. Okay, now in this video we are going to actually pass some variables to the function. So we do them like this. Inside this parentheses you put a name. Okay, so imagine that we create a variable called as a and assign 5 to it, right? We can do this. It's valid. Let a equals 5. And instead of doing that, what we can do is we can put our variable name in here. For example, let's put a in here. So this is a variable name, right? So this basically wants us to put something inside this parenthesis. So whatever you put inside this parenthesis will be passed to this a. Okay, so the value that you put inside is called as argument. So if I put 5 in here, this is called an argument. Then when we call the sum function, this 5 will be passed to a, which is parameter. And inside this function, if we want to use it, we can console.log say a, which is 5. As you can see, we put 5 in here, we pass it to a, then we print out a. Here let's do something similar. Let's pass 8, save it. As you can see, it prints out 8. So here we pass out 8 to our sum function, and then we print out a. And note that when we exit this function, this a will be deleted, so I can't access a from here. It gives out an error. I can't access a from here. Again, it gives us an error. Okay, now this is just a way of passing variables. You can also create a variable globally. So for example, let's say let number 1 equals to 15. And then if I put our variable name, number 1, number 2, oops, we didn't define number 2. Okay, so let me do it in this way. Let me define number 2 equals to 20. Now, let's see. We assign 15 to number 1, 20 to number 2. We define our function here. We don't enter it right away. We continue our code. We see our function name, sum. Okay, it match. And then we take this variable number 1, right? This is a variable that is containing a number. It's containing 15. So we take the 15, pass it to a. Now, oops. Now a is containing 15. Then we print out a. The same way, we pass out the number 20 to the sum function. No, now a is containing 20, then we print out 20. Okay, now let's put multiple parameters. But if you want to do it, we need to put a comma in here. We separate it with comma, and we put b. So this is another variable. You can name these things whatever you want. Okay, now we named it b. So basically it expects us to enter two valid arguments, but if we enter one of it, so for example, in here I entered one argument, right? It's number one. This number one will be passed to A and B will be empty. In order to assign something to the B, we need to put comma and put our second variable. So basically what we do is we pass number one to A, we pass number two to B, so these two things both contain values, and then we enter our function, we do stuff. In here, we pass 5 to the variable A, we pass 8 to the variable B, and we do whatever we want. Now let's sum these A and B, console.log A plus B. Okay, as you can see, A plus B gets us 35 and 13. Why? Because number 1 is 15, number 2 is 20, right? When we pass 15 to A, pass 20 to B, and when we print them out, we get 35. The same way, when we pass 5 to A, 8 to B, then we print out them together, we get 30. So that's basically it. There is our basically parameters and arguments. We can pass variables to our functions. We can also use comma, C, comma, D. You can pass out as many arguments as you want. And that's just basically it. These are just the parameters. These are just the parameters and the arguments. If you have any question, please leave a comment and have a great day.